I don't think the United States government really exists at the moment. I don't think that there is a leadership class. I think what happens is that, just the way you have an army during peacetime, which develops certain habits, you get peacetime generals, people play war games. It's not really an army. And then you have a live action situation, and the thing has to convert into a fighting force. I think we don't have a government, and I don't think we've had a government for a long time. I think in some sense, the last time the United States clearly existed may have been 1945, and then it has been degrading in various fashions from that. So that was a pretty functional thing we put together during World War II. And, we were able to do the space program, and, the 1950s were an era of incredible scientific progress, and unfortunately also incredible military progress with both us and the Iron Curtain, behind the Iron Curtain. But I don't think that you understand how little the government actually exists now. And when Donald Trump got elected, I went to visit a colleague at the old Eisenhower office building off the West Wing. And as I was walking the halls, I noticed how many offices were empty. They seemed to have very important plaques on their doors. Yeah. There was no Trump intellectual movement that you could staff the government with. And I think this goes back to something that Sagar and Crystal said beautifully on Joe Rogan right at the beginning. I recommend everybody to the beginning of that episode, that there are these two teams that get rotated in and out of government, and either you go into the think tanks or you go into the office buildings in the government office buildings. Trump did not have an intellectual movement to put in. And so as a result, it's sort of the dream of the anti-tax movement, that you want a government so small you can strangle it in a bathtub. And I think that in part, he wasn't able to staff because Donald Trump really was the only thing behind Trumpism. It was a completely idiosyncratic drunken boxing movement where Donald Trump understands a few things very well, better than anyone else, and many things much worse than anyone else, or he's just a horrible human being. But he's at his best when he's sticking it to the left, the institutional organized left, which again isn't really left at all, based on its hypocrisy. He's very effective at that. He's the only, if you include military and administrative appointments, I don't think we have had another president with zero government experience. And that's an incredible achievement. And many people said, we're never going to get another shot. Let's get on this train, even though we can see the danger, even though we despise him, because the main thing is to stop the insiders from selling us out to China, from selling us out to Davos. The major business post the fall of the Berlin Wall has been selling out those Americans too weak to defend themselves in order to get wealth by globalization, let's say, or financialization or anything like that. So we've been in a suicidal spiral clearly since Bill Clinton, and arguably before that. In such a situation, I don't think we have a leadership class. And I think that the people who are sitting in those seats are children. And they're children who are, in general, at the national level, many of them are born in the 1940s. I mean, somebody pointed out that, one way of saying it is Dianne Feinstein was conceived in the Hoover administration. Most of these people were conceived in the Truman administration. This is not a way to lead a technologically advanced society into the 21st century. These people can't code. They've never used a pipette. They basically, they don't know what the Teller Ulam design is. They're not technically capable people. They're professional peacetime kleptocrats. And the extent to which Ted Wheeler and Mayor Jenny destroyed confidence in the willingness to enforce the law created this thing that I got really attacked on social media for, which is that we created the never Trump voter, people who hate Donald Trump with a passion, who voted for him in desperation to stop Mayor Ted Wheeler and Mayor Jenny in their obvious attempt to allow a criminal element into the city for the purposes of provocation, allowing, in particular in Portland, attacking the federal courthouse with, you guys remember the Shaggy song, "It Wasn't Me"?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was the strategy. What Antifa? Yeah, there's no Antifa. It doesn't exist. And, Jerry Nadler was asked about this directly. And I posted this clip where, you see the courthouse being firebombed. And the claim is that the group doing the firebomb doesn't even exist. It's a myth. And okay,